This month is April. And what is April? Month of the Military Child and Youth Coordinator. Lisa, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Number one thing at State House on April 21st. Hoping to meet the governor.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. National Guard's Purple Up Day.
April 10th. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Wear your purple.
Thank you for joining me on Kitchen Spoons and Combat Boots. This month is April. And what is April? Month of the Military Child. With me today, I have Lisa Larson. She is our Child and Youth Coordinator. Lisa, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So on this month of the Military Child, can you tell me a little bit about the things that we have going on here?
Oh, so the number one thing is definitely the State House on April 21st. So we're hoping to meet the governor that day, depending on his schedule. But we're also going to be doing a lot of scavenger hunt at the State House and just really exploring it and just having a great time and just connecting with each other.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I know it changes every year. What day this year is the National Guard's Purple Up Day?
April 10th.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Wear your purple.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, purple is the color that supports military kids. So Purple Up Day is an annual day where you wear purple, you show your support, and we're going to actually have a few of those this year because we're doing the formal Purple Up Day on April 10th. And then on the State House Visit Day, we're also hoping to get as many people wearing purple there as well, including our state representatives.
Honestly, Purple Up Day can be any day of the month of April, but we really want to try to do April 10th, just so that way we're unifying everybody together. But also, I love the idea of the State House as well, so that's going to be so great.
Yeah. And if you want to send us any of your pictures with you wearing purple to support, make sure you send them our way. You can send them to Lisa. We'll make sure that you are featured as supporting military kids. Let's delve a little bit into what it's like to be a military kid, because that's really what all of this is about. Everything that we do for our military kids is to show support for their strength and their resilience, because, you know, even though they're not wearing the uniform, they go through so much. And, you know, some of it really ranges the problems that they have, you know, depending on what age they are. You know, when they're really little, they don't really understand, but it still impacts them. When they're older, maybe they understand a little too much what's going on.
Yes.
And right now, we have Army and Airmen out the door.
Yep.
And then in just a month or two, we're going to have another group of Army folks out the door. So that's a lot of military kids that are directly being impacted as we speak.
Yes.
So I know that you are also a military parent.
Yes.
On top of being, you know, our child and youth coordinator.
Yes.
So what are some things that really resonate with you as a military parent when it comes to deployments?
Right now, it's honestly working on that routine with the kids. My kids are so little that, like you were just saying, they really don't understand quite yet. But they do know something's happening, something has gone on. They haven't seen their dad for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's been a little challenging for sure, but we've been trying to work on some extracurricular activities. So one of my daughters does a lot of gymnastics, and she loves that so much. And I'm also hoping to get her in swim lessons a lot this summer. And with that, I'm hoping to use the Our Military Kids grant, which is a great use of funds to kind of help with her swimming skills.
Yeah.
So with that grant, they can offer up to $300 per kid. So I'm also hoping to get my other daughter involved in swim lessons over the summer.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to try that with that resource.
In my house, we kind of have the opposite problem. You know, our kids are bigger. You know, so whereas my husband's first deployment, they didn't really understand what was going on. They just knew dad was away for work.
Yeah.
Now they're older, and like my oldest daughters, you know, two of them are literally adults. And for them, I can't stop them from, you know, seeing the news. You know, the younger girls, you know, they don't want to watch the news. You know, they're teenagers.
Yeah.
My older girls, it's everywhere they go. So they definitely have more concerns than they did the last time, when things going on in the world were the last thing that they ever thought about. And now it's very much a focal point for them. So my advice to them has just been like, don't watch the news.
Yeah.
And we are also, since everyone is very focused on like the timelines and they understand it now, we have decided to plan things, after my husband leaves, that gives us something to look forward to other than the long distance goal of him being home. It's like shorter things. Like if we're looking forward to something, okay, we're doing this in 2 weeks. We're looking forward to that. And then, okay, we're doing this next month. So it's just shorter hurdles, to get us to that final point. But yeah, it's crazy how there's the different ages. There's so much that you have to, work with. And then when it's summer vacation, there's different challenges than when it's during school. And then especially for us as National Guardsmen, our kids aren't in schools with their peers that are other military kids.
Yes.
And they may not even know what kids in their school are also military kids. So it's really interesting. And I would love to know if we could eventually find some sort of program to highlight that, and work with schools. Maybe not all the schools, because some of them just don't have the bandwidth.
Right.
But with some of our bigger schools where we do have a stronger, military kid population, if there could be like a support group, for lack of a better term, within the school network. Because that is where a lot of stress happens for kids, is during the school day.
Right. So 100%. It's really challenging and hard. And I know that there is a committee that's working on getting more into the school district. I know I've been working on it as well.
Yeah.
But MIC3, which is a compact, which kind of details a little bit about military kids as well as their lives.
Yeah.
And kind of gives teachers a little bit more information. We also developed a little bit of a deployment guide for teachers as well, to kind of help them understand a little bit more. I mean, no one can truly understand what a military kid goes through without experiencing it themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we definitely want to try to help them and just encourage them on their unique journey as they go through it.
Yeah, I know Governor's Challenge is also working on trying to make sure that military kids here in Vermont are supported in every possible way that we can, because it is hard, and we have had some tragic stories, here in Vermont with our military kids in the past, and we really want to prevent that as much as we possibly can. At Vermont National Guard Family Programs, we're all about keeping our community connected and informed. That's why we created the In the Know email list, so you can be the first to hear about programs, events, helpful resources, and more. Sign up today and stay connected with what matters most. Talk to me a little bit about Military Kids Vermont. So what are some events that are coming up this year?
So one event that we're super excited about is Thunder Road. We're definitely wanting to do that again this year, as it was such a great turnout last year.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of families really seem to enjoy it. We also just wrapped up our KiwiCo boxes, which are super exciting. I know Military Kids Vermont was able to donate a certain number to some of our other families from other military branches, such as the Coast Guard and the Air Guard. So those should be coming out mid-April.
That's awesome. So any day now.
Yes.
Seeing as how you're kind of in a dual role here as, a military spouse and parent and the child and youth coordinator, what is one piece of advice that you would give parents out there, even if it's not, with a deployed child, but just kind of navigating life with a military kid?
Use the support systems that you have in place. Use the resources that are available out there. There's so much available out for our military kids. Yeah. Just ask those questions of your family programs people. Ask myself. Really, there is just so much out there.
Yeah, and I know that as a society we've kind of gotten away from this a little bit, but I keep thinking about that old saying of "it takes a village." And I feel like when it comes to military kids, it's very much still the truth, because we all have our bad days. And that's military kids and military spouses and service members, So, reach out. There's other people who've been in your position who want to be able to help support. And that's really what being a service member is all about, is having those built-in networks. Thank you so much for joining me, Lisa. It was great having a chat with you about
Thank you, Jessie.
Military kids. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next month.
For more information or support, please reach out to the Vermont Military Family Support Center's toll-free number, 888-607-8773.
The preceding content does not constitute endorsement by the Department of the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, Vermont National Guard, or Vermont Military Family Programs of the organization's products and services contained therein. Further, the Vermont Military Family Programs assumes no responsibility for the consequences of using the products or services provided by the organizations or resources listed. Vermont Military Family Programs makes every effort to present our clients with reputable resources. We cannot guarantee the validity of said resources, and the use of such resources is voluntary.